What's up, guys? It's Tevin Jameer, the director of Blood Money, and today I'm here to give the director's commentary for Blood Money, of course. I know a lot of people don't usually do director commentaries for like short films and stuff like that, but I felt like this would be a cool thing to do because this is my very first film. It's something that, I want to show off, and it's something that I'm very proud of, and I want to do something special for it. And also, it would be cool to do a director's commentary because, every time people see this movie, they have a lot of questions about the film. So, in this very short time span, because I only have like 14 minutes, I'm going to try to answer some questions that I know people may have about the film and stuff like that. I guess the first thing that I can talk about is how this film got made. When this movie first got made, the idea of it just came out of nowhere. It was originally a different idea, but then one of my coworkers said something that really, changed my mind on it, and now the movie is what it is. But yeah. This scene between Lamar and Dina is probably one of my favorite scenes of the film, and it's one that a lot of people love. And it was, one of the interesting things about this scene is that we actually filmed the scene on 2 different days. We originally had like a film version from the first day, but we didn't get a good view of Lamar on the first day. And luckily, my friend Al, who also was the cinematographer for this movie, one of the 2 cinematographers, he was able to set up for us to do the argument scene for a second day. And I'm just glad that we were able to get it worked out. And the way he color graded this would make you think that it was all in one day. So it's cool that we pulled it off. And I'm glad a lot of people enjoyed that scene, because I knew a lot of people would enjoy it. Anthony's a great actor, and then Aaliyah, who plays Dina. When we were doing auditions for the roles, I was pretending to be Lamar while she was doing Dina. And when we were reading it through, she gave me a certain look during the argument while we were practicing it, and I was like, yeah, I know she's the one for this role. So yeah, I'm just glad that people loved that scene.
Just this nigga Lamar.
Wait, y'all still cool? I thought you stopped fucking with him a minute ago.
I mean, he ain't shit, but he been my boy since the elementary, so it ain't that simple.
And see, that's one thing I wanted to drive home about this film is really the relationship between Tony and Lamar. I wanted people to get the sense that, these two have been friends for a very long time. And that was one of the cool things about Chris and Anthony as actors. This is actually Chris's first time ever acting seriously. But me and Chris used to do a lot of skits when I was younger, and I used to ask him to be in my skits for my old YouTube videos and stuff like that. So just knowing what he used to do back then, I was like, yeah, you know what? I got to hit Chris up for this. I want to, I want him to show off his acting skill, because he has it. I don't know if he knew before he did this movie, but he definitely has great acting skills. So, I really wanted Chris in this movie. But basically what I was saying was I wanted Lamar and Tony to give off that vibe that they really were longtime friends. And Chris and Anthony only met each other literally one time before this, and I don't even think they really talked that one time that they met. But when we got them on FaceTime together, they were talking like they were actually friends for a very long time. So once I got them on the phone with each other, I knew yeah, I made the right choice casting these 2. And then the story for Lonnie, who plays damn, why am I forgetting my own character's name? Who plays Kelly. She was friends with Al, another one of Al's friends, and he recommended me to her. And when we did the auditions for her, she said that she gravitated towards Kelly. And you know,
Thank you.
I just knew, like, when we were reading the scripts and I heard her like interpret Kelly, I knew she was the right one for Kelly. Basically, I'm saying that all these actors just felt so natural to these characters, and they even brought these characters to life in ways that I would have never expected. Like, honestly, they made my characters more alive than I already made them. So, you know, like I said, when I had a private screening earlier this year, I thank God that I had these actors for this movie.
Thanks, bro. It meant a lot.
Of course, bro.
And dang, I've been talking so much. We're already pretty much close to the halfway point of the film.
Yes.
But, you know, it's cool. It's cool. I actually, you know, it's weird because I never really thought about doing a director's commentary until like a couple of weeks ago. But it's kind of a cool experience because I'm getting to say my thoughts while rewatching the movie, which I've seen this movie so many damn times. Like, I think that's the one thing that filmmakers don't talk about enough is like when you're editing the film and when you're putting it together and you're sitting down and you're trying to pick like what takes is the best, and when you're like doing the sound mixing and all of that. Me and Al edited this movie together. After we put the clips and takes and stuff together, like I was doing all the sound, I was adding like the text messages and stuff afterwards, and it was like, yo, I sat down and I saw this movie like pretty much damn near probably more than 100 times, and at one point I was saying, man, I'm sick of my own movie. But you know, at least the end product is something that people loved, and I'm glad that all my hours and days of editing this didn't go to waste. Like, people genuinely loved the movie, and I'm so glad that people like it. Now, this scene where we had that montage of them walking to the woods, I did feel a little bit of pushback for that, but honestly, I wanted to keep it, and like, no matter what people said, I wanted to keep, them walking to the woods and it being like an intimate moment between friends, because I really want to set up like how messed up things are about to get in this second half of the film. Like, if it wasn't for that scene and if it wasn't for all the build up from the beginning, we wouldn't, like, the second half wouldn't have hit as much as it does. And basically every time, I've shown this movie to people, they always, feel hurt. They always feel betrayed. But it's like, without all that setup, you wouldn't feel that way.
Don't ever call me that shit again.
Yo.
Now, this is one of those interactions between Lonnie and Anthony. One thing I loved about all the actors was, just like how I said, they brought my characters to life in ways I wouldn't have even expected. They improvised a lot. I allowed them to improvise a lot, but I told them, do what you feel is right for the character and try to stay within line of the character and within the story. And these actors, they did a really great job at keeping up with it.
You want to go with me to visit CJ tomorrow?
Now, I'm going to try to talk less because this is where the movie actually starts getting into horror territory.
You got to go out of town.
What the fuck?
If you watch the bloopers, you'll see that Anthony actually jumped the first time we tried doing this.
Man, fuck her.
Bro, what the fuck? Bro, that's your problem now. You don't give a fuck about nobody but yourself, bro.
And that was something, just like how I said I wanted to highlight Tony and Lamar's friendship, I wanted to highlight how Lamar really seems careless about everything, but except for Tony. Like, that's one thing I wanted the audience to get right away with this story, is that, a lot of people tell Lamar that he ain't shit and that he don't care about nothing. But honestly, the one thing he does care about is Tony, his boy. And not in like no romantic way, but like, you've been childhood friends with somebody for a long time and you really care about them. And the fact that Lamar does have great love for Tony is also another thing that makes this scene hurt even more when he betrays Tony. Yeah, I remember showing this to so many people, and they are always surprised when they see the twist.
Good job,
And I love that I was able to like set up these characters in this story so well that people really cared about when Lamar does what he does.
Right now I need you to leave.
Wait, what?
and some amazing shots from Al and Nick. They did an amazing job filming this movie.
Dangerous for you to stay out here right now.
To the point where like a lot of these shots feels like something you would see in a theatrical film. And that's not just me saying it because it's my short film. Like, I have heard people say that this looks like something that could honestly be in theaters or on streaming services, and not Tubi. This shot of Lamar walking up to Tony is probably one of my favorite shots of the whole movie. Like, Lamar really looks like, you know, a traditional villain in a horror franchise. Now, as far as the location of the woods and stuff like that, these are woods that me and my friends used to go into when we were younger. And, you know, we used to play around in these woods and stuff like that. So, you know, I always said that I wanted to film something in these woods, and this movie presented itself, you know, perfectly with the woods. And there I am. So originally for the demon, it was supposed to be my cousin, but it wound up being me. He was busy, so I just said, you know, the show must go on, and because I already knew all the lines, I decided to play the demon.
The job is done. She was just assistants. I did the actual kill.
Now, y'all don't know it, but there was a group of kids riding on their four-wheelers while we were trying to film this scene, and they were being such assholes. Like, I'm surprised we were able to get this scene off because, like, those kids were being so annoying. Now, this whole demon sequence with Lamar talking to the demon, I visualized all of this before we even started filming and stuff like that. Like, I already told Al from the jump how I wanted, you know, these scenes to look. So, and because I had to play the demon, Al basically had the direct for me for that scene, and he did an amazing job keeping to my vision. Now, to answer some people's question with this, that's just all Lamar pulled out. The demon basically gave him, like, you know, all the money in the world, basically. But that's just what he pulled out in that scene. I had some people question, like, he really just did it just for one stack or stuff like that. No, that's just what Lamar pulled out. But basically, Lamar is set for life now because of what he did. People got to remember that the theme of this movie is about sacrificing ones you love and stuff like that. So, you know, one sacrifice, you don't have to constantly keep sacrificing to get everything. It's just like, you know, the old thing in Hollywood and the music industry where they say, like, sacrificing somebody will get you success and money and stuff like that. And that is blood money. So yeah, I was going to touch on the theme. Basically, the theme of the movie really was just sacrificing ones you love to get what you want. And obviously, I'm not trying to portray it in a good light. I have heard people, you know, be a little weary about the theme of the movie, but ultimately, I'm glad that most people get that. Like, I'm not trying to portray this in a good light or nothing like that. I only have a little bit of time left, so I guess I will say shout out to DZ and Ali the Sensei. DZ produced the beat that you're hearing right now on the end credits, and Ali was the rapper. And I wanted them to do something for this movie. I showed them the script and stuff like that, and Ali basically got it done, and he did it perfectly because I was not expecting him to keep with the theme of the film so easily. But yeah, that was the commentary. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope y'all enjoyed the film.